Good evening, everybody. I'm Julian Phillips, Deputy Commissioner of Public Information, NYPD. Some of you may know me. We're here to give you an update on an ongoing homicide investigation. This has happened late this afternoon after 4 o'clock. Jeffrey Madry, Chief of Patrol, is here to give you an update, and he takes over right now.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon to members of the press. Just standing here with me is Deputy Chief McGinn from Manhattan North, Deputy Inspector Wilson from Manhattan North Detective Bureau, the Commanding Officer of the 2-5 Precinct, Deputy Inspector Hennon, and the Executive Officer of Detective Bureau Manhattan, Inspector Fiorello. Before I get into the details of this horrific incident, I just want to make a plea to New York, to Harlem, to Northern Manhattan. Please, if you've seen anything, please, if you can help us, we need your help. We cannot allow this gun violence to continue. We cannot allow our young people to fall victim to gun violence. So please, any help that we can get, I implore this of New York. So today, on this hot day, approximately 4:22 p.m., you had 2 young males, a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old. They came to this block here on East 128th Street. They entered a deli over here at 104 East 128th Street. The 2 young men stayed in the deli momentarily, and then they exited the deli and they started walking towards Park Avenue. As they're walking towards Park Avenue, actually one of the young men was walking, the other young man was on a scooter, a push scooter. As they're walking towards the corner of Park Avenue, a male emerges on the corner and fires a volley of gunshots at the 2 young men. The 2 young men run towards the street. They run in between 2 cars. The 14-year-old is struck right there, falls in between the 2 cars lying in the street. The 15-year-old male is able to make it to the street and run in this direction, eastbound towards Lexington Avenue. As he's running down the block, a passerby sees him in distress, pulls him over to the side, gives him some aid, gives him some help, and calls 911. Members of the 25th Precinct respond to this location. They discover the 15-year-old male. They start rendering aid and getting him help. They start closing off the streets to prepare a crime scene, and then they discover the 14-year-old laying there in the street. An ambulance is called. The 14-year-old and the 15-year-old are both removed to local hospitals. The 15-year-old, we believe his wounds are non-life-threatening. He got shot in the left leg. The 14-year-old was shot in the head, and he's in very, very serious condition. Again, I'm asking New York, Manhattan, if you've seen anything, please call us at 1-800-577-TIPS. Members of the Manhattan North Homicide Squad, the 25th Precinct Detective Squad, will be out here working on this active crime scene. We need your help. Our children, our families, members of this community cannot go through this gun violence, and they shouldn't have to. No one in New York should have to. Thank you.
Raise your hand. Do you have any questions? Alice?
One was on a scooter. Can you just explain?
Like a push scooter, like a little scooter that...
Was it the 15 or 14?
It was the 14-year-old who was on the scooter.
Did they
know each other?
The 2 young men went into the store together. They exited together. We do believe they were, spending time together. We don't know if they know the shooter.
Chief, do we believe that one or both of the teams was targeted? No one else in the area?
Well, from what we know so far, it does appear that they were targeted.
What do you know about a suspect potentially?
Right now, the details are very fresh. This is a very new crime scene, and the detective squad is working through it.
Motive? Anything on motive?
That I don't have, ma'am.
Linda?
At this point, do me a favor, just describe again. One's on the scooter, the other one is walking, and then the suspect
Yes. So
runs
they...
up to them, drives by in a car, jumps out of the car. What
Nope.
happened?
The 14 and the 15-year-old, they exit the deli right here behind them, right over my shoulder.
Right, but I mean the whole thing after
Yes.
that. How did the suspect
So, listen. So as they're walking towards the corner of Park Avenue, the male emerges and he's right on the corner of Park Avenue and 128th Street, and he fires right from the corner. So he doesn't enter the block; he stays at the corner. He fires eastbound down the block towards the two young men.
So
They were walking towards him.
And he was
Yes,
already on foot.
he was on foot. Yes.
Emerged from a vehicle or was already
No, we can't tell exactly where he emerged from. He made it to the corner. He did flee westbound towards Madison Avenue, and that's all. We lost him at that point.
Question, Chief. Any description of results today? How many shots were fired?
We don't know exactly how many shots were fired, and we don't have a description as of right now.
Last question.
Can you talk about what this means to have two teams that you believe were targeted at such a young age? What it means for the young people of our city?
I mean, listen, not only the young people, but what about the parents? What about the families? What about the grandmothers out here? This is terrible, and we shouldn't have to suffer through this gun violence. All right? New York is so much better. All right? The people of this city, this is the best city in the world. We shouldn't be scared to walk out in our streets in the broad daylight in the middle of the afternoon and feel like we're going to be victims of gun violence.
Thank you, Chief.
Is everyone good?